Okay, I literally don't know what happened. I was just filming an entire video and then my phone just like shut off and like closed and the video is nowhere to be found. So I'm just gonna do this whole thing again, okay? Like it's literally getting dark outside, but I don't care. We're talking, all right? First of all, say hi to Boz. He's right there. Don't forget. Say hi. I basically want to jump on here and just like chat with you about all my feelings about moving out. If you didn't already know from all of my annoying posts on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, follow me everywhere at Samcity_. Then you probably don't know that I'm moving out for the first time out of my family house into my new apartment with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's brother. So the three of us are moving into this apartment that I will own and will forever be indebted to paying off the mortgage on it. But those are just some big girl things, okay? As some of you know, I do live in Vancouver. It is a very expensive housing market, which is ultimately why I decided to live at home up until now. I really wanted to make sure that when I did move out, I wanted to own my own place. I wanted to feel very comfortable financially and just save up as much money as possible before that. So knowing that my family had a home here, they wanted me to stay home. I was very privileged in that sense. I decided to stay at home and I would 100% do it again. I think that was the best thing that I probably did. So if you're thinking about whether or not you really want to go and live on your own and rent, I'm sure there's a lot of benefits for that as well. But for me personally, I really am happy that I stayed home up until this point, and realistically I would stay for longer. Also, like, I hope I'm not coming off as like, oh, Sam's rich. Like, oh, Sam's not rich. A lot of why I have this apartment has to do with my parents and their investments earlier on in life. So it really does come down to, again, my privilege and like the advantages that I have because of what my family really worked hard to provide for me. So I really can't say enough in terms of how grateful I am to my family, because it truly would not have been possible without them. They also instilled a lot of like financial sense into me at a young age. So I think that obviously contributed a lot to it as well. But anyways, I've just been thinking about moving out. Like, it's actually so crazy that we're moving out in less than 2 weeks from when I'm filming this video. I'm so nervous. I don't know why I did that, but I am having such like nostalgia and just like feeling super emotional thinking that I'm not going to be in this house with my family, with my dog anymore. Like, I literally don't know how to be without my dog. Like, sorry parents, sorry brother, but like, you expect me to leave my dog here? Like, I literally don't understand how I can do that. It's gonna be the hardest thing ever. And just kind of reworking my routine around a different space, around different people that I'm around, a different neighborhood. I'm going to be farther away from my friends than normal. It's not super far, like it's still within driving distance, but it's just gonna be a little different. Like, all of my day-to-day things are just gonna shift a little bit, and it's gonna be so interesting kind of moving into this like new era of life, aka but I am really excited. Ultimately, it is very bittersweet. Like, I love living with my parents. I love living in this neighborhood, in this house, being with my dog. So I'm already thinking of all the ways that I can sneak back in and steal my dog and spend time with my family and ultimately mooch off of them, because, you know, that's just like what we do. I'm really excited to grow. I think I've been craving the next challenge for me and kind of taking charge of like everything that's required to keep me alive and well, like cooking for myself, cleaning for myself, all those things that like you might take for granted because you're living at home with your family. I'm really excited to like dive into those things. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're gonna fucking hate grocery shopping and like all these things, but I actually am really excited to like self-sustain and just have like personal responsibility. Not that I don't have it now, but it's just different, okay? It's just freaking different. So I am super excited to kind of have control on all aspects of my life and also be responsible for all aspects of my life. Anyways, I wanted to go over a few things that I thought were helpful leading up to the move, in case you find them helpful or you want to do the same. But let's start with furniture shopping. Tom and I split furniture by the piece. Instead of going 50-50 on everything, we ended up kind of taking charge on different pieces that we wanted to prioritize or that we wanted to spend our money on. And the biggest reason we did that is because we ultimately had different budgets. So for me, I was willing to spend more on a couch because I wanted to invest in a nice couch, and Tom was more inclined to spend on a bed frame. So we ended up kind of taking certain pieces that we felt good about spending our budgets on, and then just kind of staying within our own personal budget. So for things like the kitchen island, like I didn't really care how expensive or how non-expensive it was as long as it kind of worked. So I was just like, Tom, you do whatever you want there. Whereas for something like the rug, where I really wanted this one like custom rug, Tom was like, I don't want anything to do with that. That's your own personal choice. choice, so I ended up taking that. So it was really nice in terms of making sure that we're being considerate of each other's budget, and also like not to be pessimistic, but if we do ever part ways, which I really hope we don't, at least we know who gets to take what, and that doesn't have to be an added complicated layer on top of an already shitty situation. So that's why we did that. Another thing on furniture is we were able to keep within our budget for sure. I really expected to be spending more than we actually did. And what I think contributed to that was the fact that we had hella time to shop. So we had like a full 6 months to really search through literally every furniture site that exists and wait for sales to come up and wait for restocks and all of that kind of stuff. So we had a lot of time to look and research furniture, but also had a lot of time to collect them and store them in my basement. My basement is full of all of our stuff, which has been crazy down there, but also really nice that we're going to be able to move in with like pretty much all of our stuff instead of waiting for everything to ship months later. If you for some reason have time on your side, I highly recommend using all of it so that you can kind of spread out payments, spread out researching, spread out finding things, making sure that you're taking advantage of sales. Most furniture stores have sales either at the end of the season or during like statutory holidays or long weekends. So like Labor Day, there's a sale. There's usually a sale after like spring and after summer and whatever. It's usually like the season clearance sale or whatever. So if you have the chance to wait until one of those, chances are you can get what you're looking for on sale. Another thing is self-explanatory, but as soon as you find something on a site that you like, make sure you're checking Facebook Marketplace first, because things are being put on there all the time. People are selling their stuff for fractions of the prices all the time. It's so great to look on there. But yeah, we pretty much have everything that we need to move in. We have all of our big pieces of furniture. The rest is just going to be like decor things and like random like pots and pans and whatnot, but all of our big pieces of furniture we pretty much have, which is crazy that it all came together. I feel like, knock on wood, like it went really smoothly. Like there was no delays in our shipping. Everything arrived on time. I'm super thankful that everything worked out, especially with like COVID. Like I feel like there were a lot of delays going on, but we lucked out. All of our furniture has arrived and is scheduled to arrive on time. What else did we do? Another thing that I did that helped was, because we had so much time, I was able to just kind of go through my room really slowly and start picking apart things that I wanted to donate, throw away, keep, organize, etc. So instead of having to tackle my entire room in like a week leading up to the move out, I was really just doing it like once a week for like the last 3 or 4 months, and made it a lot less daunting and just like a little like 20-minute activity that I did every week. Another thing that we all did was have conversations about like chores and like rules of the house and like expectations prior to actually moving in. And the reason I chose to do that is because I feel like it's easier to have that conversation when you're not in the heat of it, like you're not living in it already. Because once you move in and you're like pinpointing things that you don't like, that you haven't brought up before, it kind of comes off as like nagging. And like I have a fear of being a naggy person and like being unreasonable. So I felt that it would be easier just to kind of share all of my expectations and like the things that I like prioritize and like are non-negotiables for me and my living situation up front, so that it can just be like this opened, chill conversation. And then like when things come up, you can just kind of like gently remind them or like bring it up or whatever, and it doesn't turn into this like I'm picking out every single thing that you're doing in the moment that it's happening. You know what I mean? So we had a conversation about that, which I'm really appreciative of. I'm like honestly not concerned about living with either Tom or his brother Sam. Like we all get along really well, we all respect each other, and we all have like relatively similar expectations in terms of like tidiness, chores, and things like that. So the one thing that I am very interested of is like how it's going to be like living with Tom. Like I am obviously at the forefront very excited, but at the same time, Tom and I have like very different personalities. I'm super introverted and he's quite chatty and extroverted. It's going to be very interesting trying to navigate and balance those two personalities in the household. And what I'm very grateful of is like Tom and I have really good communication. So I have no doubt that we'll be able to navigate the situation totally fine, but it's going to be interesting to see how it like starts and if it's going to be a problem off the bat or if it's not going to be a problem. Like it could go either way. Like it could either be like, yo, you need to stop talking to me. Or it could be like, you know what, like we are just so in sync right now. Like we're just like really respecting our boundaries. Like it's crazy. So, I mean, we're gonna see how it goes, but either way, I know it's going to be fine. We have great communication and I trust that both of us will whoa. And I trust that both of us are going to do everything we can to be respectful of each other's boundaries. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We have also kind of designated where our own spaces are going to be. So obviously Sam has his own room, so there's not really any problem with that. But knowing that me and Tom are going to be sharing our room, I have like this little like den area where I'm going to be doing all of my work from home that I will have to kind of use throughout the day or just to chill out whenever I need my own space. I'm hoping to put some sort of comfy chair in there so I can just like read or like chill out or something whenever I want to just like be by myself, which is often. And then we also have another desk that we're putting in our room. So Tom will be able to leverage kind of our room and that desk as his space while I'm kind of in the office and whatnot. I am going to double that desk as like a little vanity for me to get ready in the morning, but I really only need it in the morning. So the rest of the day, if Tom wants to like game or use his computer or just sit somewhere that's not out in the kitchen or the common spaces, he can have that kind of space. In the same realm, we kind of discuss things that we want to do together and things that we want to do separately. So for example, we really want to work out together. There's a gym in our building that's really nice, and Tom used to be a personal trainer, so I want him to train me and like work out together so we can have quality time doing stuff that's productive, but also something that's like really simple that we can access every single day. And then things that we want to do separately are things like cooking and laundry. So like laundry, we have like a pretty small washer dryer, so we'll try and consolidate when possible, but for the most part it's probably going to be like singular loads. For cooking, we have very different appetites. Okay, he's a 6'4" man. I'm like out here being my 5'6" self, not eating nearly as much protein as Tom eats. So we thought it'd just be easier to shop and cook for ourselves, and then maybe like once or twice a week we eat a meal together so that we can obviously kind of share that experience without having the added pressure of like cooking for two people. I think that would be like a big transition for me, going from like really not cooking a lot at all to cooking for like two people. I don't know about that, okay? Like, I do not know about that. Anyways, I just want to jump on here and talk more about the move. I've been in my feels recently and also can't believe that it's coming around so soon. I feel like we've been preparing for it for so long, but also not long at all. But I can't wait to make more videos about the moving process, about our decor, about living together, all of these things and more to come. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. And if you have any tips for moving out for the first time, moving out with a partner, please leave them in the comments down below so we can just all reap the benefits of that, okay? I love you very much. I will see you in the next video. Bye!